It's time for the 259 Show, a weekly podcast that can be found on our website at www.the259show.com or on Facebook and Twitter at the 259 Show. Today's hosts are Joe Peachy, Mike Vincelli, Tyler Diedrich, and Andy Fowler. Here's your host, Andy Fowler.
Hello, Hilton. Hello, west side of town. If you got power, Andy Fowler, Joe Peachy, Tyler Diedrich, Mike Vincelli. Special guest this week, Jake Diedrich.
Dr. Jake.
Dr. Jake.
No relation, by the way.
No? None?
No, I'm just kidding.
Dentistry, right, Jake?
Dentistry.
Dentistry?
No.
Optometry.
Optometry. Actually, we've got two special guests. We've also got Tully Fowler with us this morning. Tully the dog.
Tully the dog.
She's being a good girl today.
So we're attempting to go live in this episode. I'm looking for it now, and actually, the website shares to my Facebook page, so I'm going to share that with our page we manage, so everybody should.
So we're actually live.
So we're actually live right now, guys. Congratulations!
This is history.
It's also being recorded as well, right?
It is, and then it'll be posted back up in the archive.
Yeah, wonderful.
So
all right.
we are live. This is what happens when the producer of the show also manages the social media page, and the other person down here does not have a smartphone. We are live. Publish. Okay, cell phone's going down, I promise, for the next hour. Hopefully. Right. Unless I am expecting an important call, guys. I may have to step out.
Move a treadmill again?
Yes.
Someone named John has been calling a lot this morning.
Yes. For those of you outside of this room, I am a victim of food poisoning. So is my, wait for it, fiancé. And
why don't you tell everyone who we decided to blame for this?
The Olive Garden. Mr. Garden.
I thought you were going to blame me, honestly.
Well, that's actually what I thought.
I
thought we'd agreed that Joe was taking the blame for this.
No, it's always Joe's fault. So,
speaking of food,
Tully has had a couple suspicious barks here in the last few minutes.
Yeah, if you hear like a Chewbacca sound in the background, it is Tully the dog. She's my dog. Linda Fowler has been on a cruise all week. Great week to pick to go on a cruise, right? She comes back tomorrow.
Where'd she go?
The Caribbean, Dominican Republic, and she went around there. And it was an 8-night cruise.
That's awesome.
I have a mouthful to tell her when she calls me tomorrow when she gets back. Like, you can't leave me alone anymore. I get sick from eating food. We lose power. I don't know if you guys saw the refrigerators in the middle of the kitchen. I got to go buy a new refrigerator tomorrow.
We are broadcasting live this morning against all odds, really.
Against all odds. No one thought we'd be able to do this.
Let's talk about it.
We did it.
I also just plugged in my microphone, so maybe now you can hear me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Joe.
Joe's out till 3:05
Joe,
a.m.
the natural lighting in your studio apartment is wonderful.
I know what I did.
Great radio.
Joe, what time did
Maybe we shouldn't go live.
What time did you fall asleep this morning when you got back?
Okay, I'm here.
Hey, appreciate it, Joe.
Here you guys. Sorry about that.
So what happened last night, Joe?
Nothing. I went to a fun little house party with my girlfriend. We had a good time. It was a 70s theme.
Ooh.
So I wore
Did you grow your afro out?
No, I just I wore this like floral patterned dress shirt. Looked like a goof, man. It was a good time though.
Joe, what time did you fall asleep this morning?
Went to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm up at 9. So
I woke up at about 4:15 this morning.
Well, similarly to you guys, I was up every half hour for one thing or the other last night. Long story long, I got 2 bathrooms I got to clean after.
I walked in, there was like 3 huge bottles of Gatorade on the counter.
Right, like, here we go. So I'm going to cut you guys off. We're live right now. Facebook, you can check out our the 259 Facebook page. There's a link there through our Spreaker, through any of our apps that you may be downloading. You should have gotten a notification. If you go to Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com, and look for the 259 show, you can actually message board us in with your opinions, Or, since we're all related to our listeners, you can just text us. And you can get onto the show very easily that way today.
Can you comment on Facebook?
Yeah, comment on Facebook. Somebody will be monitoring Facebook regularly.
If you're listening to us on villageradio.net, this is not live, though.
This is not live. This is a Saturday morning. I should get through that, yeah. We come to you every Saturday morning on our social media, Facebook and Twitter at The 259 Show. Village Radio Saturday nights at 8, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on villageradio.net. And you can subscribe to us at the Apple iTunes Store and Spreaker.com. I use Podcast Addict myself.
For Android?
Spreaker.com, too. And our website is always the259show.com. Jake, how you doing over there, buddy?
I'm good.
So,
glad to be here.
So do you listen to us at all or no?
Yes, every Saturday I listen in.
That's a lie.
No, it's true.
No, he said he was lost without us.
You guys are going to the St. Patrick's Day parade today, right?
Yeah, we're going to try. See if we survive.
What's everybody's take on it? My take is they should. My take is they should push it
We got
back.
to tell the backstory first.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
How did we get to where we are now? Wednesday afternoon, we had some pretty heavy winds coming in. There was an 81 mile per hour gust reported.
There's a tornado coming in, right? A little tornado action.
There were heavy winds most of the afternoon into the evening on Wednesday. That did some pretty good damage to the town of Greece. That was under a state of emergency. Irondequoit also under a state of emergency. Schools have been closed.
The National Guard's coming in today, right?
There were a good 150,000, no, not 150,000, 150,000 plus people without power across western New York.
Mm-hmm.
Parts of Parma got...
schools have been closed. There are still a whole bunch of people without power who may not have power until into
Monday night.
Week.
Yeah, my grandmother being one of them. She lives up Ladd and Long Pond. I've been over there maybe 4 times the last couple days. Sorry, Tully. To fill up the generators and keep them going.
And you just got power back here in the village of Hilton.
Friday night.
I should say
Thursday
the
night.
southern half of the village of Hilton. Up in the northern half of the village, we were not affected.
However, there's still parts of Cambridge Road here. Well, I just let everybody know where the studio is. Here we go. 15 weeks going, guys.
Don't all fill up at once. Stand out the house.
Protest outside the studio, guys. But the 259 or south part of Cambridge Road, Sherwood.
Their grandmother doesn't have power.
Tyler, Archer Drive. Mike, did you have power?
No, we lost power, but the same situation as Drew. We got it back Thursday night.
Yeah, because my parents lost power.
Yeah, probably the same thing.
So, and it's wicked cold out. It's like 0
Well,
wind
Wednesday it was nice. Wednesday and Thursday were kind of nice.
I think I just missed it because the wind started coming in. Well, they started coming in later in the morning, but like the heaviest stuff didn't come down until like early in the afternoon. I think I just missed it by like 15 minutes to a half hour. I was at Wegmans on Ladder Road. And it must have been shortly after that, like, power lines started coming down and stuff. Like, Long Pond Road was a disaster. That's where Wegmans is.
Yeah, did you guys see Arcadia's high school, their roof?
And actually,
came off?
Here in Hilton, too, the Village Elementary Gymnasium roof flipped off.
No way, really?
Denise Duffy, who works in the IT department over at Village, said the roof basically came up and slammed down on her part of the building. She ran out of the building screaming.
Really?
So how long is that going to take to fix? Like a whole roof of a school.
The game plan is Monday.
The one in Arcadia wasn't actually a roof. I think it was just like a tarp. It
was the rubber membrane.
Yeah.
Sits on top of the roof.
It's still intense.
Well, Drew, and then you shared the picture of Brockport Baseball's dugout.
See that? The Cinderbrook dugout?
Brockport High School.
Brockport High School, my fiance was the one who forwarded that on to me. And it's okay because that dugout was always small. They needed a new dugout.
The baseball team's probably happy.
Bricks, man. That thing was destroyed.
I know. Crazy. It was crazy, man. 81 mile per hour winds reported at the airport. They're saying probably up to 90 in other parts. And it kind of looks like in some spots it didn't happen, but like a tornado. There were shingles off a roof, siding missing from houses, windows blown in. It's just something that Rochester,
my question is, where was this anticipated?
Yes.
With a snowstorm, people are like, oh, we're getting a snowstorm, brace yourselves. People are like, we're getting like tornadoes and hurricanes on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we knew about it.
Okay. The funny thing was, a week ago, last Thursday, we had the same sort of situation. A few people, it wasn't as intense, but people lost power.
Yeah. So now you didn't have to work Thursday and Friday.
Yes, because teaching's a tough gig for anybody.
And a lot of people didn't because their workplaces didn't have power, whereas I did have to go to work early in the morning to tell people that they didn't have to go to work.
Well, how about this? Once again, I mentioned at the top of the program, my mom's on a cruise right now. Being a recreation director for the town of Gates, anytime a state of emergency comes into play, their community center gets turned into a 24-hour shelter.
Yeah, that's
so her
awesome.
staff has been staffing it around the clock when mom's on a cruise. Right?
She makes a good week.
And she has no communication with home. She has no idea this is going on.
Oh, wow.
So
Tyler, I'm curious. What did 13 Wham? Did the building have power at all times?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, so what would they just try to run on generators? Like,
Yeah,
'cause obviously you got to get the news
power
to
go
people.
off in there before. The power has gone off there, and usually the generator kicks right in.
the show must go on.
There have been a few times.
Oh, so they have built-in almost like a hospital. They have built-in generators.
was
If the
one
power
time
goes
I
out,
was
it's just
there,
like generator kicks right in.
I think it was like last year sometime. Our power went off just a few minutes before the noon show started in the studio, so they quickly.
I know.
Dolly was very upset about that. She really wanted to see the midday lotto drawing. Yeah, so they ran it
after
into the
the
newsroom.
power went off, did anybody run in and yell "Stop the presses"?
No, it's not a newspaper in 1953.
Stop the press.
In 1933, I should say.
Well, we all at least scraped by with minimal damage here.
Yeah.
Nothing here on Cambridge Road was too bad. A couple uprooted trees. A lot of people in the cold.
So then last night you ended up at the Olive Garden,
Oh, yeah, so we're getting back to that.
which we were blaming Joe for.
Yes. We went to the Olive Garden last night.
I apologize.
For Lent. Can't eat meat. So we went to get a pasta,
That's
dish,
Joe-
pasta dish for my fiancé.
Drew, do you follow?
No, I had meatballs last night.
He got
I was gonna say,
all the meat dishes.
Olive
I didn't
Garden,
take you to be a devout Catholic man. So
Olive Garden, of course, is Joe's favorite restaurant because he's Italian.
stop. That's the
Hey,
blasphemy.
that and Papa John's.
that
The
and
guy
Papa
who was wearing a
John's.
meal from Little Italy. No, that Little Italy food was not real Italian.
Okay.
So, sorry, I'm eating popsicles right now because that's the only thing that I can manage to eat. So it was like 7:45, 8 o'clock last night. Salad, breadsticks. I had spaghetti meatballs. She had eggplant parm on spaghetti.
How good is eggplant?
I don't like eggplant.
Oh,
Well, especially last night, it wasn't good at all.
good. Joe, what do you think? Eggplant.
Eggplant parm is pretty good. I had it like a couple
Go
weeks
chicken
ago.
parm all day.
So I'll be calling later today asking for a full refund. And friend of the program, Nick DeStasio, tells me I should get more than my full refund.
Was
I don't
the
know.
They should send you home.
Drew, you need to bring evidence. So
Yeah.
you can bag.
Well, the good news is I
And bring
saved
it
it
to
all.
them.
I
Take
put
a
it-
take
This is
pictures
what
of your
you've done to
bathroom.
me.
It is a little stinky in the studio today.
I thank you guys. Actually, I'm well showered. I took like 5 showers last night. So yeah, that's.
They listen to you home with a box of breadsticks.
Sorry for those listeners who are eating breakfast right now.
It's been an eventful morning for you already because you've been running around on top of
Yeah, and then I had to go put gas in my grandmother's generator and start those up so she has heat.
Where'd you stay?
I stayed here.
You
Up
did?
and down, yeah.
And we were supposed to go to HFR
This morning.
at 8 o'clock this morning.
That didn't happen. Sorry.
You guys never made it?
I couldn't eat anything.
We went Wednesday night when we first lost power for dinner. Got the omelet. It was good.
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 So yeah, the refrigerator's broken in the house. We ran a power cord over from the Duffys and the Gormans to run the sub pump for the 36 hours or so we didn't have power. Yeah,
I'm glad you're here with us, Drew.
I'm glad the studio is still dry too.
Oh, yeah,
That was
I didn't think of
was
that.
a big undertaking to keep this place dry. I'm gonna be sleeping so hard later today, though.
Oh, hey, we're proud of you, Papa Bear.
Thanks, guys. So
You're a good man.
this is the.
I'm sorry I gave you food poisoning. I didn't mean to.
It's okay. You'll call Vinny later and straighten it out for me.
I'll rub your belly later. All right.
Thanks from Queens. Appreciate it. So this is the inaugural 259 show live. It's like a traveling show. It sounds like we're like on Broadway live.
Yeah.
Big program ahead. Food talk.
Huge.
We got a couple
Live
things.
from Hilton. It's 2:59. Yes.
We have some food talk to talk
Sorry, I'm
about.
tired, man. I'm out of it.
It's a great day to do that.
Right? And another topic that let's dive into it now. The ACC basketball tournament, amongst other conferences, are winding up today.
Winding down.
Winding down. And March Madness is just winding up. How about that?
Oh.
Because
Winding over.
Selection Sunday is tomorrow. Is this the most exciting time of the year to watch sports?
No, it's the most exciting time of year to watch college basketball.
Let me rephrase this. 3 years ago? Winter Olympics, March Madness, and I'm drawing a blank. What else happened right at the same time?
Well, the Olympics are in February.
It all just kind of like rolled one into the next. I think it was Super Bowl, then it was Olympics.
So do you want to
Daytona? That's it. NASCAR started.
Do you want to put it into months, or do you want to say like, okay, January, February, March? That's a season. April, May, June. That's like, because if you put it into 1 month, or like block it into 1 month.
Times of the year.
So if you're a sports fan, what's the best time of year to watch sports?
I actually wrote a blog post
I remember
about
this, Tyler.
5 years ago during my senior year of college.
It was a
I
rainy
ranked the
Saturday.
sports months, and I actually wrote the list down this morning. If you want to go to
Does it still stand?
I was looking at it this morning, and I'm like, I think I may have to make a couple revisions to this. If you want to see the full post, it's on tdunderreview.wordpress.com. It hasn't been updated in almost 3 years.
But it's still there.
Yeah, give us the summary of what you got.
I had
embrace debate.
again. This is going back to 2011 or 2012 rather that I wrote this. Number one, I had October.
As the best month?
Yes.
Okay.
Why is that? Football, all levels. The NFL is in full swing. College football is in full swing. High school football playoffs are going on. And then you got the World Series.
Yes. Okay.
And if you're a fan of like basketball or hockey, those usually start in October. So
Yeah, and this was coming off the heels
NBA
of this was coming off the heels of one of the greatest World Series of all time, 2011, St. Louis and Texas.
We have some Facebook messages coming through. I'm going to
Do
pipe in here. Lori Diedrich. She says, "Hi guys," and 9 minutes ago, Tyler's grandma, no power yet, which we already reported. But yes,
Judy says no power.
Hey, Lori Diedrich.
Mrs. Diedrich, thanks for the muffins, by the way. They're really good.
I wish I could eat them. I can't.
Number two on that list, I had April because, first of all, I mentioned the NFL draft, which is usually at the end of the month. You've also got the Final Four baseball season
Opening day.
underway, and then the NHL and NBA playoffs. So you've got a little bit of everything going on at that time. Number three, I had May. In addition to the NHL and NBA playoffs still going on, you have the Kentucky Derby, the Indy 500.
I don't think of those small other sports. I just think of like football and basketball.
Oh, Champions League soccer.
And I had June after that for some reason. I was also.
What did you have?
What?
What did you have as the worst month? I'm curious to.
We'll get
hear
to that. Oh no!
We
got all 12
back to
months.
April at number 2 for a second. I almost forgot to mention
the Masters.
Yes, the Masters,
which is one of my favorite sporting events. I'm excited.
Then number 5, I had November. September was number 6. I think I might move those up, just because of football. Number 7, I had February, mostly because of the Super Bowl, Daytona, and then every 4 years, of course, you got the Winter Olympics. Number 8, I had January. Number 9, December. I had March number 10. I mean, there's really only college basketball.
In December?
March.
Oh, March.
Number 10.
Okay.
Number 11, I had July. And
I disagree with July. You have the hot dog eating contest. That's on ESPN. It's
and the All-Star
game.
Yeah, the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
Number 12, I had August. I think I might actually move August ahead of July. Because at least
But what is in August? I mean, there's
back.
like training camp and preseason.
You
That's
got
about it.
baseball division races, kind of. The NFL comes back at least with preseason.
For me,
Watkins Glen. The Olympics are every 4 years in August too, and I think that may. Or wait a minute. Yeah, they're usually in August.
I mean, I kind of want to go off what Drew said. Everybody goes nuts for the March Madness, I think. Like, everybody fills out a bracket. They all try to watch it.
Yeah, but
I remember
that's all there is,
At least the first, 2 rounds, even some of your teachers will let you watch the games in school. So...
Those teachers are no longer employed.
I think March should kind of be a little higher up there.
I don't know. I mean, I had December at number 9, and I think that's even a good month for sports, mostly because you have the NFL regular season winding down.
So what do you say the most exciting is? For me, I'd say the October-November area.
I love
because you got postseason baseball is great,
especially the 1-game wild card.
Yeah, well, that's exciting.
That.
College football games actually matter, or starting to matter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then the NFL's getting into full swing.
And the 2 weeks that college football has the monopoly over the NFL are great. Too.
And if you're huge NBA and NHL fans, your season's starting up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had October number 1.
This time of the year is exciting too, though, because like you said, March Madness is winding down. Then you're transitioning into the Masters. Baseball starting back up. Around here, the weather's getting nice, so you're able to...
if you're a basketball fan, then by then...
playoffs
hockey and NBA
playoffs are starting.
Yeah, I would say March...
So those two are the...
March is still exciting, but it's still number 10 on the list.
You've got the NFL draft, too, in beginning of April.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's April.
Yes, but
that's
I'm saying,
April's
like,
number 2.
This time of year...
it was more times of the year, not necessarily months.
Yeah, the spring transition time, I think.
No, I think March is still exciting, but there's... several more ahead of it that I thought.
Well,
were
just
more
because
exciting.
Notre Dame never performs well in the March Madness tournament doesn't mean
that is a lie. That is a lie. You want to
history.
go back the last 2 years? Notre Dame has made the Elite Eight both of the last 2 years.
Yeah,
won the ACC 2 years ago, and we didn't mention this yet. They are playing for the ACC championship tonight against Duke.
Duke. While we're talking sports, I want to transition into the 259 Doofus of the Week. And I'm going to start a new award this week because, heck, we're live. Might as well. This is the Not Doofus of the Week. The Not Doofus of the Week goes to Roy Williams after his comments made about the press and Donald Trump. I don't know if anybody heard it.
No.
I got the sound clip here. Let's take a listen.
We don't need the New York Times to find out what in the dickens is going on in the country. You know, our president tweets out more bullshit than anybody I've ever seen. So, so we got all kinds of social media. But in the old days, there's no question it was the media capital of the world.
So Roy Williams is my Not Doofus of the Week. Mainly
That's
because
great. I like it.
He's got,
where's he from? Like, I know he lived
nice
in
accent.
Kansas,
I'm
but
gonna
where was
say-
he born?
I want to say Kansas.
I want to say it's somewhere in
Kansas.
North Carolina.
Did he
'cause
start?
He's just got that
but-
sweet, sweet Southern drawl, and it just comes out real nice.
Let's look that up real quick.
Marion, North Carolina.
Yes! I knew it had a North Carolina accent.
Tyler, do you know where Marion, North Carolina is?
I do not off the top of my head.
Really? I thought you would know the state of North Carolina.
I know the state. I know Tobacco Road in the great state of North Carolina pretty darn well, but
It's between Charlotte and Asheville.
Okay.
On Route 40.
all right.
For anyone that's wondering.
For our North Carolina. Hey, speaking of North Carolina, Aunt Mary, fan of the program, she went through her
Aunt
last
Mary, yeah.
treatment yesterday down in North Carolina. So she is now treatment-free.
That's awesome.
She rang the gong at the UNC medical
gong.
campus yesterday.
That is awesome.
So I also
Down in
sent-
Chapel Thrill.
Down in Chapel Thrill, yes. So, and I got a message here from a loyal listener of the program, my fiance. She says, Jaron Jones from Aquinas. Did you hear about this in the news?
Jerron
I
Jones.
saw it. That's
He's
pretty cool. Yeah,
donated
what he
20 pairs of his cleats away.
Yes, I did
However,
see that.
they're size 16. So if you got a large foot and
Yeah,
play high
but
school
that's
football,
I think like big kids who can't, because my brother wore size 16s. It would take us like hours.
Can
to
you
find
whittle
cleats
those
for
into
that
like
freaking guy.
Eights?
to
You had
eights?
to, you had to
one
buy
cleats,
buy
two
two smaller pair of cleats.
I
and
told
just,
my
like,
wife
glue 'em
Amanda
together.
about this last night when I said, Jerron's giving away his old cleats to kids who have big feet. So
I got big feet.
that's really nice.
Tyler, what
Baby
is
Diedrich
his,
gonna have big
what is
feet?
his draft future looking like? Do you think he's
Yeah.
gonna
I was at an Irondequoit basketball game. They were playing Webster Thomas a month or so ago, and the Aquinas football coach was there. His son plays for Webster Thomas. I got talking to him for whatever reason, and we were talking about Jerron, and he said that he heard could go as high as the second round, probably more likely third or fourth round.
All right.
He came to a handful of basketball, Brockport basketball games this year, too. So
Is-
I think his girlfriend's from Rockport or something like that.
Is he training
He's a
in
big
Rochester
dude.
right now, or do you know
No,
where he is?
he's out in San Diego, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, those guys usually do like
Yeah, I
the
fig-
huge like training facilities
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
He's
so.
a big
That's
dude.
what I figured. Oh my god.
Jerron 6'6", 315, 320.
I gotta go take a phone call. I'll be right back, guys.
Oh.
And this
John's
is,
calling?
no, this is my cousin who I'm working generators with. Hold on one second.
So yeah, Jerron Aquinas grad, Notre Dame grad, and soon to be in the NFL.
That's very cool.
Good luck to him. And while we were talking about North Carolina just a second ago, there are two things I wanted to mention real quick. Got to give a shout out to my friend Matt Vizana, who was in Charlotte, North Carolina a couple weeks ago, and he brought me home a couple of sweet potato pies from Bojangles. Thank you, sir. They were delicious.
Does that lead into your food talk?
Yeah, I want to revive.
Is that Tyler's? Yeah, Tyler's a quick shout out for Bojangles.
Yes, you may have heard I did my. I went kind of off script and did my top 5 cornbread rankings a few weeks ago.
Just belted them out real quick.
And I realized that I forgot one. It was a gross oversight on my part.
Oh, how dare you.
Another little shout out. Sorry, Tyler. You might have gotten a text from Big Scott. He says, "Show sounds great, guys. I love the Chewbacca sounds from the dog." So,
Totally left, though.
thank you from the one big dog to the other little dog.
So I want to revise my cornbread rankings.
All right, let's hear it.
This is
Please.
provocative radio here.
I don't remember what I even had.
Everyone's on the edge of the seats right now.
Well, I totally overlooked Colby's Barbecue, which is out in Rush. Oh, Rush!
Oh, Rush! It's so good to see you.
I thought we talked about that place.
Colby's in Rush, right off the 390 there. They've got apple cornbread there, and it's delicious. And I want to actually put that at number. I think I'm going to put that at number 3 in my rankings.
Who are you knocking out?
I think Dinosaur was number 5.
Oh, okay.
I think.
So Colby's got Moist.
Yes. So you got 58 Main, Good Smoke, Colby's. What was the other one I had on there?
I don't know.
Barbecue, Tyler.
I had Taste of Texas.
Where's Drew?
Did I say 58 Main? That's number 1.
Yeah.
58 Main, Good Smoke, Colby's, Sticky Lips.
Tyler, you just named like 7.
And then there was one more. There was one more.
That's how Tyler's power rankings work. You guys made fun of me with my power rankings. Tyler has a top 12. And
I think Dinosaur is number 5, actually. And then number 6 would be Taste of Texas.
Okay.
Although I may put that ahead of Dinosaur. I think, you know what? 5 will go Taste of Texas, 6 will go Dinosaur, because Dinosaur's cornbread is not as good as the others.
Cornbread is good.
Cornbread is great. Cornbread can make or break a meal. Honestly. It's dry and it's not moist.
Can you agree with me on number 1, 58 Main?
58 Main's was really good.
Yes.
I've never really thought about cornbread that much where I'm going to rank them, but
well, you should.
It's good to know. I hope our listeners have their pads and pens out so they could jot down Tyler's favorite cornbreads and check them out.
But Mike, I don't mean to steer us away from the ever popular topic of cornbread. So you guys are you guys are going to see the parade today?
Yeah, we're going to the parade.
Oh yeah, that's what we were
windy and cold.
About.
Oh yeah.
Forgot to get back to it.
All right, Tyler, hit us with some hard news.
Yeah. So the amidst
thank you, Joe.
All this destruction that the wind has wrought upon Western New York,
savaged upon Western New York.
There was controversy about whether Rochester's St. Patrick's Day parade should go on as scheduled today at 12:30 downtown.
Sponsored by Tops.
Monroe County and the city of Rochester each pulled their staff from partaking in the parade. The county was the first to do it, and the city was a little slow.
Which they should have done.
Right. And there are other organizations who pulled out of the parade as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yet the parade is going on as scheduled today.
Yes, sir.
Despite the cold weather, despite the thousands of people without power. On the surface, it would seem like a bad idea to go on with this parade, knowing that we'll probably have better weather next weekend. It'll be the day after St. Patrick's Day next Saturday.
That's the point I wanted to bring up. I don't understand why the parade is a week before St. Patrick's Day when St. Patrick's Day is on a Friday. Why not just have it Saturday?
It's always
like
the Saturday.
Rochester always does this where they have the parade. Does Rochester always do it where they have the parade really early? I mean, because I'm going to a parade next week. I'm actually going to be in Boston for their St. Patty's Day parade, and it's going to be like 2 days after St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So
I would think they should just do it the Saturday that's closest to St. Patrick's Day.
You don't think, or you think they
No, as opposed to the one before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like next
it
Saturday.
It should vary every year, depending on when it falls.
Regardless, they did have a Facebook post that I saw saying that it's going to go on, mostly because they have hundreds of volunteers who are committed to doing it this weekend, and they wouldn't be able to do it next weekend.
Okay.
I think if people want to go enjoy it, I don't think there's a problem with that. I mean, I think you said the city and the Monroe County has taken away its workers. Like that's a good call. I mean, people need help right now because of the emergency. But if people want to go to a parade, go to a parade. People should enjoy themselves. And the other thing is, I heard people complaining that it's going to be too cold. Minka, this is people have hats, they have gloves. We are used to the cold.
It's Western New York in March.
This is not going to be a deterrent for people.
See, no, I fall on the other side of the argument, though, that
Drew's back.
Yeah, hey guys. Well, I'm glad the show was able to survive the 8 minutes I was on the phone.
We talked
Barely. We talked about cornbread.
Oh, Jesus.
Cornbread a segment.
Jeez. I might not have been able to stomach that. So. But now we're taking people who have been in the cold for 3 days. They think they're going to go outside. You're at the parade. You're going to drink. They're going to be more cold. They're going to come home to no heat still. It's just going to be... It's going to be bad.
Yeah, they don't have to
Look,
go.
if you can't make that decision, if you can't make an educated decision that you shouldn't go from cold to cold, then
I don't think a lot of
we
people...
got bigger problems than you going to a parade.
There are places they can go to get warm if they want to.
Yeah. And things to consume to help warm their... Oh.
Yeah, and...
no, the parade itself, yeah. Excuse me if this was covered while I wasn't here, it's not a city-sponsored event. It's a city-approved event. But there's a committee that organizes.
It takes city resources to put on the parade, though.
Yes,
and that was, and the city and the county each pulled those resources, as far as I know.
I don't think the city did. Lovely Warren still.
They didn't at first, but I think they did eventually. And then the parade organizers posted on Facebook saying they have never rescheduled the parade before. They have only canceled it twice because it's too hard to actually push it back a week because of all the volunteers.
Do you honestly think the majority of the people that go to the parade are there for the parade? They're there for the festivities,
the revelry
before.
I mean, I'm sure some people enjoy it
after
you get
the parade.
You get a lot of like bagpipers and all that stuff, and that kind of cool.
But the majority, I know there are people that are there, and family members,
like Irish dancers. I'm sure their parents want to come watch them march or something.
No, yeah, I understand that. I was just saying the majority of people there are people in our age group who are going to have a good time.
And the bars along the parade route probably love the business. They don't want to get.
But how about if you moved it another week? Don't you think you double the business? People already planned on going out and drinking this weekend, and the next weekend they bring them back in.
I said, it's tough to get all the volunteers that they rely upon to come back next week because they've already committed to this weekend long in advance.
I don't know.
That's what they said. At least.
I'm not going either way, so
neither am I.
I could be the live correspondent from.
Next week. Let us know.
Shoot us a video. We'll play it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll want to see that.
We'll put some midweek content.
All right. So should we move on to our ever popular?
Unpopular opinions.
I gotta apologize first to our Facebook followers. The Facebook Live thing we did this morning. There was a typo, which gives it a totally different meaning. You see that?
I did see that.
Why didn't you tell me anything, man?
Jay!
I didn't want to interrupt the
no! It said, I meant to say, despite...
So we brought you here.
Yeah, right? Despite many setbacks, we're going live. It said, despite many wetbacks. Totally different meaning. I'm sorry.
True.
Oh boy!
You can edit Facebook
I
posts.
did.
Okay.
I just did.
Oh Lord!
But we're trending.
Luckily, we're airing at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. So,
maybe I'm the doofus.
Mike, as you famously said many times during our first episode,
this will get better.
Yeah.
Has it, guys?
All right. While I was gone, did Tyler cover his Bojangles?
Yeah. Power rank. I think we're on the power ranking.
We got unpopular opinions. If we want to,
let's go power rankings first. Because I have the sound bit right here.
Okay.
It's time for the 259 Show's weekly power rankings.
Now, last week I chose the topic, as we've been doing this roundabout way of power ranking topics. I chose top 5 songs you rock out to when you hear on the radio. Turn it all the way up. I'll go first.
All right.
I wrote my list this morning. I've been meaning to do it all week.
This was tough.
It's tough.
This was tough, man. I've got like 12 songs I still need to pick from.
Okay, Tyler. So it's ever changing.
Just list
them.
But
number 5 on my list is Old Time Rock and Roll, Bob Seger. Oh. That's a good one to jam out to in the car. Number 4, Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen.
There you go.
I hit the high notes.
And it's like half of the commute usually.
That's like a 12-minute song. Number 3, Thunderstruck, AC/DC. Number 2, Jukebox Hero by Foreigner.
Oh, yeah.
I know the air guitar and the air drum part to that song. So I got it. I'm pretty...
Foreigner's lead singer?
Lou Gramm.
Who is from?
Gates, New York.
Hey.
He played the Gates Summer Celebration 3-4 years ago. I was backstage when he sung Jukebox Hero. Lou Gramm, I kind of feel bad for he's old.
He's gotten some bad press.
And after every song, he'll go backstage and grab his oxygen mask. And he has his doctor's back there to check in on him. Like, it's the miles that rocking out have on you, I guess. But
I remember listening to local radio maybe early in the fall, and he played somewhere in Rochester, and I forget what station it was, but they were kind of ripping on him. He didn't sound too great.
I guess I'm not too familiar, and I'm sure people, if Jeff and Big Scott and John Strauss are listening, I'm pretty sure like he was never officially the lead singer of Foreigner. Like, they just said, hey, you want to come tour with us this summer? And then it just like went one thing into the next. He left his own band, and then they kind of said, thanks, see ya, and got a new guy because no contracts were
I don't know. If you watched Good Day Rochester at 13 Lambert this week, you would know that this week was actually 40 years ago. This week was when Foreigner released its first album.
It's a question of the day.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
And number one on my list is Taking Care of Business, Bachman Turner Overdrive BTO.
Always playing at the Schwab.
It's a classic. It's on the playlist. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Jake, are you going to participate in this? You're here.
Don't put him on the spot.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't prepare really.
We've got three other people. Take your time.
Come on, Jake.
All right, yeah.
Jacob,
Give me a minute.
come
Maybe
on.
I'll think of a couple, but...
All right.
I'll go next.
Okay, Joe.
Dude, man, this was a great topic. I had a really tough time picking, so I'm gonna go over and tell you some of my ones that I didn't pick. I'll do it after everybody goes. Number 5 is The Piano Man by Billy Joel.
Oh, yeah.
Good one, dude.
Put that bad boy on in a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you got the whole thing singing it. Number 4
Like
is...
the Burton.
This is where Tyler, you're gonna lay into me with my list. I just have a feeling. I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. Dude, she's just...
Joe, is that your karaoke choice?
Mikey likes it.
Mikey, thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
You might be hearing that one again.
Any Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You.
I only
anything,
like Whitney Houston's version of Do You Hear What I Hear?
Scott Peachy tweets or texted Lou Graham got the gig from the record company. So, thank you, Big Scott.
Big Scott.
And he also said a couple minutes ago, sounds great, guys. He's a big fan of the Chewbacca sounds for the dog, who's now upstairs, by the way.
Oh, Whitney Houston's national anthem before Super Bowl 25.
It was lip sync, so
We talked about that.
Yeah,
we
still,
talked about-
yeah,
that surprised me, but still, I mean, she sang it and it was beautiful.
it's still played.
Number 3 is Jack and Diane by John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh.
I know all the words to that song, and I can just I love it.
That almost
the
made my
drum
list,
solo in the middle is just like perfect. Number 2 is I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys.
It's actually a really good song.
90s song that just people go nuts for. And then number 1 is if you've ever been to a wedding in Western New York, you know that when the Shout song comes on, it just like acts as like there's literally like 40 little kids who just start puking in Chuck E. Cheese. They get so excited.
He could go all the way. Touchdown! 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 The Bills make me wanna kick your heels up and shout.
right now the two Diedrichs in the room are holding their heads.
Both looking at their phones.
Like Tyler's got something on his phone to look at. It's a flip phone.
So I want to give proper.
Yes, Joe?
I'll wait till after the song. We're gonna enjoy this.
That's gone.
Go ahead. It'll be back there. Nope. Oh, well, I'm sorry. That's right. You're on Skype connection. There you go.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, the actual song is called, I think, "Shout" Parts 1 and 2 by the Isley Brothers, and that's kind of the version you play, if you play it at a wedding. But oh my god, I go nuts for that song. As does every other Bills fan. I remember my brother's wedding. We just lost our GD mind. And Aaron, and whenever that song comes on, Aaron likes to tell me, You look like you're about to puke.
No. At the Diedrich wedding, August of 2015, there was a video of when that song came on, and you can see it start to come on, and a lot of people are kind of like, yeah, they're getting into it. You look at Joe, and he's just standing there in disbelief, not moving for 5 seconds, and he just slowly gets into it, and he just starts rocking out.
I couldn't believe you played it, man.
Punch a hole through the wall.
Usually,
What, you think I told him to play it? What we did play the Diedrich wedding to counteract that for equal time was T-Pain's Miami Dolphins song.
And the songs
One of the great
Rudy.
fight songs of all time.
That's Jake's favorite song. I think that's what he was waiting for. So I just gave Jake his answer.
That's in my list.
Joe, you one more?
That was my number one.
it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a couple of ones that didn't quite make it was Mr. Brightside by the Killers, Mo Money Mo Problems by Puff Daddy and Biggie Smalls. Van Halen right now. That just gets me thinking about football.
They don't play that anymore at LeBeau Field.
What's that?
It's a new era. It's North Greece High School now.
Yeah, they don't play it at LeBeau Field anymore.
That's a crying shame.
The players choose.
Dan Bates is no longer the coach. And then Walking in Memphis by Mark Cohn. I love that song.
I do have one Dan Bates inspired song on this list, and I will get to that in just a minute.
All right, Tyler.
You want me to go, or do you want to go?
I could go.
All
right. Number 5. Joe already mentioned this. I want to dance with somebody. I thought it was going to be a little grief, but I knew Joe would back me up on this because I know he likes Whitney.
I love Whitney.
It's a great song. She belts it out, and I love a good beat. Crank it up in the car. Number 4. It's probably not very crazy popular song, but Stevie Wonder's Sir Duke. You guys heard that?
Probably. What is it?
I'm not going to sing it.
Come on, Mike. Give us the chorus.
It's also got a very good beat, and Stevie Wonder's vocals are always amazing. Number 3, Piano Man, Billy Joel.
I can't believe I didn't put that on my
Anytime you hear that song, you got to belt it out. Number 2, I Want You Back, the Jackson 5. Little Michael's vocals.
I love Little Michael.
Again, always belting it out in the car. And then number 1, I hope Tyler has this at least. In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins. The drum solo. Oh
yeah.
The blood is rushing.
That's like the iconic
when this song comes out.
It takes forever.
This song is amazing.
Have you ever seen the video?
Phil Collins, great voice.
Have you seen the video of the gorilla playing the drums to that song?
No.
That was actually me playing the drums to that song. So that's your number 1, Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, yeah.
All right, Tyler. How many Christmas songs made your list?
Well, we'll see.
No, what's the over/under? I'm putting the over/under at 1.5 Christmas songs.
Are you taking the over or the under?
I'll take the over. Mike, Joe,
I'll do
Jake? Under 1.5.
What was the
1.5 on Christmas songs on Tyler's list?
I think he's at least got 3.
Yeah, I've got over. Mike, you're sitting here
going
under.
Yeah.
All right, it might be for some soda
Mike's
pops out at the parade later.
Mike's the underdog here.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 5, I had "Song of the South" by Alabama.
All right,
that's a favorite of
Sweet Potato Pie.
Sweet Potato Pie, and I Shut My Mouth. Number 4, the 259 Show listeners may be familiar with this one because it's the intro to our 259 Show Extra. If you got it queued up.
I don't. We're not taping an extra today.
It's called "Your Love Awakens Me" by Phil Wickham. It's actually a Christian song. The intro always gets me. I have to turn it up.
He tears up.
Do you dance?
Tear up? No.
It is a good intro.
Yeah. Number 3, I had, and if you were at the Diedrich wedding, you remember this one. And this was also a Dan Bates inspired song from Hilton High School football back in the day. "Sweet Home Alabama." Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner.
Usually, if I get invited to a wedding and I have there's like a line where you can request a song, I'll put that.
There's a large historical background to that song.
Yeah,
I taught about it when I student taught in Hilton. I couldn't tell you it now. I haven't taught social studies too long.
Well, the story goes Leonard Skinner. They had a gym teacher in high school named Leonard Skinner. Yada yada yada. Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
And Tyler, I appreciate the shout out to Dan Bates for that song.
So the next
those are fun times.
Do you remember after we would win a football game, we would gather in the locker room. We'd play that song.
So Hilton.
We would count down. We would count to 10, count to 9, count to 8, so on and so forth, all the way down to 1. It was weird, but it was
Dan
it was
Bates
always awesome
because
we won.
We'd be going nuts because Dan Bates, one of the most genuine guys I know. He's a great dude, and he would just be going nuts with us after every win.
So the next 2 have to be Christmas songs for the over to take it.
Number 2, it's another Christian song that I actually remember hearing when we went to not Christmas. What's called "Where I Belong" by Building 429. Drew, I don't know if you remember this. We went on our mancation to Texas.
No.
In the summer of 2012.
Just block that out of his memory.
It was hot. I was miserable.
We got Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
We went to a couple of Texas Rangers games. David Murphy actually used this as his at-bat song.
I know which one you're talking
about.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of stuck in my head after that. That's the one song that whenever I'm scrolling through my iPod, if that song comes up, I just let it go and I play it.
All right.
As opposed to skipping over it.
So Mike wins.
I won. You guys owe me something.
Wait, I still got one more.
You get a muffin.
Yeah, Mike did win. Number 1 is, if you were at the Diedrich wedding, this may have been the most popular song of the night. Sir Paul McCartney's "Wonderful Christmas Time." Never turning that one away.
So that's your favorite song of all time, fair to say.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it's one that I definitely won't turn away if it comes on.
Crank it up.
Yeah. cranking that stuff up.
Tyler, how do you groove in the car? Do you?
He just drives faster.
Yeah. More efficiently.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's more
I just
efficient.
sing.
Yeah.
I just sing.
Okay.
I've never heard that.
Actually, that does happen. Drive faster when you hear a song you like.
I drive
It's
slower
dangerous.
so I can hear the whole thing.
Really?
Especially if I'm
I
where
kinda
I'm supposed
pumped
to
Do
be.
you remember the episode of The Middle when the whole family, except for Mike, was in the car? They pulled up to a stop sign, and Mike was in the car next to him.
Oh, yeah, jamming
He was
out.
singing- what was the song?
Well, I will
It was,
say-
"Carry On My Wayward Son."
Yeah.
I'll say
it just
living in
takes
New
off.
York, and it sucks because I don't have a car anymore. So, and I listen to music on my way to work. Sometimes
starts
it's a
sprinting.
podcast, whatever, or talk radio. But I'll listen to music, and if one of those songs comes on that I just want to belt, I look like a real. I don't know.
You got
I
yourself.
look like a real jerk.
We're not on delay here.
I look like a real jerk, like screaming like an idiot
I have
on the N train.
There are on my phone. I have.
Wait, there's songs on that phone?
No.
I have 7 text messages that I have saved during the 8.5 years I've had this phone.
Only because he could only save
Wait a
7
minute,
text messages.
breaking news. I'm really interested. Like, I love going through Tyler's photos on his phone because they're from our sophomore year of high school.
No. I got that right after we graduated high school. But anyway, this text that I got from Joe Peachy on August 11th of, I'm going to say 2015.
What was the weather?
I think I
like
know
that
what
day?
you're talking about. Yeah, it was 2015.
Seriously, though, I walk around the streets of New York listening to this tryout song, which is from Rudy, and think, in all caps, I can destroy all in my path. God, Jesus, hail Notre Dame! Exclamation point. 10:46 a.m. on August 11, 2015, from Joe.
I
Peachy.
just gotten out of a job interview that I thought went particularly well for a teaching job.
How'd it go?
And I was listening to tryouts, and that song is so dang motivational, man. It just starts slow, and it just like builds up to this like powerful anthem of I can do anything. And I was listening to it when I was walking down the street, and I'm like, yes, I need to text Tyler.
and everyone who was at the Diedrich wedding in August of 2015 heard that song as us.
And that's why I had earplugs in the whole time.
5 and Greg walked up the aisle. Not the aisle, the side aisle.
We went down the aisle.
Yeah.
Well, that can. Oh, Jake, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I did a quick little search. The first one that popped in my head was a classic from Miley Cyrus.
Bach? Oh.
A.K.A. Hannah Montana. Party in the USA.
Oh, yes!
That's
a good song.
That was a great
that song holds up.
That's still played from time to time at like baseball stadiums and like.
That's a good pick.
It's a good summer song.
Yeah, Party in the USA.
2 songs that just missed my list.
Yeah.
Both by Eric Church. Talladega and Give Me Back My Hometown. This is my hometown.
I really love that "Give Me Back My Hometown" song.
Yeah, this is as deep as the show's ever gotten. We can move on.
Which I used in How About Them Apples 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Wait, I think Jake was in the middle of giving his list, so maybe we could go back to him.
I don't really have a list. I just have like a couple I picked out from
let her rip, baby.
list.
Yeah.
There was another one. I lost it already. Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Schwanky classic.
Yeah. And I think there was an AC/DC song.
Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time.
Drew, I'm surprised
that's all
you
I
didn't
got.
choose "Sweet Caroline."
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with Sweet Caroline. Overplayed.
Yeah, I'll still sing it at weddings and at
I
sporting
feel like
events.
it's song when you're by yourself. It's not when you're with a bunch of people. It's one of these songs, but when you're by yourself, it's like it's kind of sad that you're not with people to sing it with.
What would happen if we put "Sweet Caroline" on at the Arlington on like a Friday night with the regulars there? Like, will anybody sing along?
They might wake up from their drunken stupor.
There'd be one drunk
burned
woman
down,
who'd be
Drew.
singing,
It
out of tune, trying to get like Joe to sing with her.
Let's go.
Anytime I hear any of the Notre Dame fight songs too.
No,
If you were at the Diedrich wedding, you remember how many of them were used.
it's not necessary.
Does that conclude?
That concludes our power rankings. Next week's power rankings will come in our "What's on Deck" section. Mike Vincelli's turn.
So
to
hold
pick
that
this
thought,
week.
Mike, and we'll make your announcement at the end of the show.
All right.
The end of today's program.
Let's move on over to unpopular opinion.
Unpopular.
Tyler, you're
opinions.
still a little stubborn from last
Still
week.
kind of pissed.
Whoa!
Can I say that?
Hey, wow,
You just did.
Pizza.
What
We
about
only talk about it every week.
John Strauss wants to know, is that Jake Diedrich? Yes. That's my unpopular
Jake Diedrich is my unpopular opinion.
So, yes, John.
Tyler, what has you in a tizzy about pizza?
I'm a little upset.
Enlighten us.
I'm upset that New Yorkers just dismiss Chicago's pizza. Well, it's a casserole.
Are you talking about New Yorkers as in New York State or New York City?
New York City.
Oh boy, what did we do?
My thought is that they don't have a good comeback to defend themselves from Chicago's superior pizza, so they just dismiss Chicago pizza as casserole.
Well, for one, it's not pizza.
It took you a full week.
That's my point right there.
That's the only argument you need.
So it took you a full week
to
come up with
lasagna back to the Olive Garden, please.
It took you a full week to come up with a comeback.
It's not that it took me a full week to come up with a comeback. It's just that it was still bothering me a week and a half later. So I had to address it.
Oh, like when you listen to the 259 show on the archive tab of the 259show.com.
Yeah.
But Tyler, do you have another unpopular opinion about it, or
no? It's just that you guys.
My unpopular opinion is
comebacks.
that New York pizza fans don't have anything else other than dismissing Chicago's pizza as.
I think
not
you're
pizza.
right. And look, I enjoy New York City pizza a lot more than Chicago style. But whenever you talk to somebody about it, they just immediately just say Chicago pizza sucks when they probably never tried it. So
they don't have an actual critique other than just dismissing it.
And I will say this: I would like to take you to get authentic New York City pizza one of these days from like the OG spots. So
well, sure. No. Don't get me wrong. New York pizza's good. I just find Chicago's better.
Right.
Well, we all know you're weird, so that's okay.
I went to Joe's Brooklyn Pizza, which is New York style pizza. Oh, I got a Sicilian thick slice, of course, but
those are amazing, grandma style.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So that's a lot of pizza talk for the last.
I've got an unpopular opinion.
Go for it.
I got one at two. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills one.
I'm fine with that.
And I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but in my opinion, feel like it is more impressive that the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls than any team who won 2 straight Super Bowls.
We're just talking about this now?
Yes, this is my unpopular
I'm going to
opinion.
give you...
In the notes, I thought you were going to talk about, like, what they've done with free agency and stuff like that.
No, why would that be? I mean, who cares?
Let me give you this,
Joe. I feel like the moves they're making, I can talk about that in my air
Joe, back in the day...
I guess I could agree with that, though. 4 straight Super Bowls.
Let me spit this one out at you, though. Back in the day, 20 years before the Bills went to the 4 straight Super Bowls, there was a little team that went to 3 straight Super Bowls. Not 4, 3. And they won 2 of them.
Okay,
what do you think of
I know
that?
you're talking about the Dolphins. and the fact that they went to undefeated in one of those seasons. Yes, that is definitely very impressive. You know what I mean? Just the fact going to 3 straight Super Bowls is obviously more impressive than going to 2 straight. But 4 straight, Tyler. That takes a lot of tenacity. 4 straight.
Grit.
It was a weak time for the
Bigger.
AFC. The AFC went something like 12 years without winning a Super Bowl. The NFC champion won it every single year in that period.
Yeah, so that's my unpopular. I mean, I guess it's not so unpopular, but
all right,
it's popular around these parts, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
He also likes Chicago-style pizza over New York-style pizza, but that's neither here or there. So that's our unpopular. Mike, do you have an unpopular?
No, I only have popular opinions.
Yeah, I go around with the popular people too.
I want to go back to March Madness for a second. This is not
the people, Joe.
This is not an unpopular opinion. This is more of a memory, Joe. Do you remember what was happening 5 years ago today?
I barely remember what I had for breakfast 20 minutes ago, and it's sitting right next to me, so you're going to have to enlighten me. Oh, the Bonaventure. The Bonnies!
The Bonnies won the Atlantic 10, and they made it to the NCAA tournament.
They did. That was a lot of fun, and I got called out a lot for that because I never was a huge fan of the Bonaventure. I remember I would go to games with you. I wouldn't wear the shirt. I would just wear a Chicago Bulls hoodie. And then I finally was like, yeah, go Bonas. And people were like, yeah, you don't like this team.
Yeah, you don't care.
You don't care. I didn't care. So I still don't.
5 years ago today, Atlantic City, New Jersey, they beat Xavier and made it to the NCAA tournament.
Where was it?
I was there, Atlantic City.
There's a year with...
New Jersey.
No.
New Jersey.
Thank you, David Patterson.
That was a lot of fun, though, Tyler. That whole ride was really cool. It was a nice, fun way to their senior year.
It was cool for... I was rooting for the Bonnies too. It was cool. It was a local area.
Yeah, we got accepted to their school.
I wore my acceptance T-shirt every day.
I tried to, but mine was like 5 sizes too small.
Drew, you were accepted at Bonaventure too. That's right.
Yeah, we talked about this.
That was one of the strangest, yet most memorable weeks of my life when that happened.
Did you, Tyler? You also went to Nashville, right?
Sure did, and I went to Raleigh, North Carolina, the following week for the women's Sweet 16, where they got
pounded by Notre Dame.
They got pounded by Brittany Mallory. Just pounded.
But that's neither here nor there. 5 years ago today. 5 years ago today, certainly a very memorable day.
I've got, before we move on to airtime here, I have a homework assignment for you guys, maybe.
Ooh.
I'm taking nominations for which baseball team I should follow this year. A little backside.
You do this every year.
I like Major League Baseball. I was a Twins fan.
The Mets. Come down to Queens.
I was a Twins fan forever, but they suck.
Yeah.
So last year I'm like, all right, maybe I went to Toronto, so I could go see them if I want.
As long as you're not claiming to be a diehard fan of this team.
No, I'm not. But I want to be there. But I've been so against the Yankees for my whole life. But it's so accessible to watch them here. That's the thing that sucks is you can
join it, baby.
Like
join
if I pick the Astros,
train.
I can only see them like 3 times a month at most.
But the Mets, they're on all the time too.
That's what I'm saying. Drew, come down to New York. We'll go to a couple Mets games. The tickets are real cheap.
Look at all the baby bombers.
I don't think that's true.
Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Clint Frazier.
So
come on.
I don't know. Cleveland's a hot contender because it's right there. I could have hopped on the Cubs train last year. Pittsburgh is always a fan favorite too.
Well, we've got John Schwinn.
Yeah, but I don't have it on Allegiance.
I got one right now.
What's that?
Orioles.
Old
affiliate of the Red Wings.
I've always
your favorite athlete of all time played for this team.
Yeah, he doesn't play there anymore though.
Yeah, but still.
How about a team I mentioned earlier, the Texas Rangers?
Nah. I like the coaches in Orioles.
Drew, I always was under the impression that you were a Red Sox fan.
No.
Oh,
no.
God.
I like Showalter out in Baltimore. I like
Baltimore's a doable trip.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
Drew, they got a good manager.
I still got a couple weeks to decide here. So
Drew, I'm telling you, man, become a Mets fan. We'll come over the summer. We'll go to a couple Mets games. I'm 20 minutes from the stadium.
Hey, Joe, are you
tickets
a Mets
are real
fan?
cheap. What's that?
Are you a Mets fan?
No.
Or do you not? Are you?
I mean,
baseball fan?
living in Queens, Mike, you kind of have to root for the Mets because everybody it's like Queens is Mets, Bronx is Yankees,
Sure.
everybody else is Yankees.
it's like everybody in Queens. You gotta like Kevin James.
So if you're in Queens and you don't like the Mets, then you're kind of like Afangu, you know.
So there'll be a conversation for down the road because we still got a couple weeks till opening.
Is this going to be something you do every year? Is this the team you like for the rest of your life?
I haven't committed to the teams that I thought I'd attach to.
Yeah, so this could be a yearly.
But I think what it comes down to is I need to be able to go there in one day to watch them. Like
the Toronto Blue Jays, the geographic closest team to us.
Almost Cleveland's almost on the same page though. So
Cleveland would be a good team.
Francona's a cool manager, cool skipper.
We got a nice young team.
Of all the teams that we mentioned so far, which has been about half of Major League Baseball so far, the two that make the most sense to me would be the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Mets.
Yeah, so we'll revisit that. Let's we end each program with weekly airtime. So, seems like almost we have some things here to talk about for airtime. You want to get started, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm really pissed.
Oh, shocking!
Oh, Tyler's upset about pizza
I am
again.
Pissed, royally pissed.
Why is that?
No, I can't tell you how many times in the last 2 years. Okay, I'm 26 years old right now. That means a lot of my other friends are right around the same age. I've seen so many people post on social media the last couple of years saying when they turn 26, wow, finally in my mid-20s or finally in the second half of my 20s.
Yes.
Do you guys see why that's not technically true though? Or if they're turning 26 and they say, can't wait to see what my 26th year brings.
Yeah, it's your 27th year.
Yes, exactly. The other thing is when you're 26...
This is the grammar hammer right here.
Oh, this isn't grammar.
Tell you
this is just truth nuggets and facts.
Spitting truth nuggets all over the place.
The truth is, when you turn 25, you have already completed the first half of your 20s. Okay. When you turn 26, you have already completed 6 years in your 20s. You only have 4 left. You dummy.
You idiot.
This is what really bothers you. Of all the things, this is what bothers you.
It bothers me when people spit out fake news like this.
Fake news.
Halfway through my 20s, turning 26.
Alternative facts.
No, you were halfway through your 20s a year ago.
So if you're Facebook friends with Tyler,
just sitting there stewing in his.
I got news for you. You've already got 1 year down in the second half of your 20s, you idiot.
I want. Next time you hear this, I want you to call it out right on its face, and just be like, "No, you're an idiot. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You want to know why you're wrong? Because you already did the first half of your 20s. You stupid, ignorant person."
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for your support this time. When you turn 26, you're entering your 27th year on life. When you turn 1, you're not entering your first year. You're entering your second year.
maybe you're just on Facebook too much.
Maybe your underpants are just too hiked up.
I'm just too smart.
Careful.
Get off Tyler's lawn.
We got a standard-sized door you got to try to figure out on the way. Joe?
Just a shout-out to the Buffalo Bills. I think you're making some good moves here. Bringing back Tyrod was the right decision. I feel like they're not paying him too much, and he's the best quarterback on the market. Got rid of a couple players who, got a dead weight. We don't really need him.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about
Williams
Gilmore going to the Patriots and probably going to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, whatever. Well, he didn't deserve a contract this year.
Here, am I upset that Steph Gilmore signed with the Pats? Of course I am. But to think the Bills were going to pay him $15 million a year, he's not a crazy, awesome shutdown corner. He's just not.
And you guys got Micah Hyde from the Packers, who was always one of my favorite defensive players on the team.
I'm very excited about him.
When I saw him today, I thought he was mostly a kick or punt returner. I didn't know he was.
He played. Well, their secondary is pretty depleted this year with injuries. He plays safety sometimes. He plays corner. He's he's a utility guy. I like him a lot.
Packers just signed Martellus Bennett.
Yeah, earlier in the day yesterday, that's what I was going to talk about. They cut Jared Cook, and I was really surprised because him and Aaron Rodgers started connecting real well at the end of the season there. So I was kind of bummed, like, why the heck are they not signing Jared Cook back? And then they went out and got Martellus Bennett, which is going to be a nice target for Aaron Rodgers. So it must have been someone Rodgers wanted to go after. So,
do you guys want to hear my Stephon Gilmore story?
Did you meet
pissed
him?
off?
No. It was 5 years ago.
To the day.
Early March 2012. I was visiting.
Watch the A10 tournament together.
I was visiting Greg Earnhardt at Purdue University, flying in and out of the Indianapolis airport, and it was the same week of the Combine. So I'm flying back home from Indy, and you see several guys who had all the Combine gear on. So I'm like, oh, these guys are about to get drafted in the NFL. And it was the DBs had just wrapped up, the defensive backs, so they were coming home. I couldn't, put a name to the face, but I could see the number. So as soon as I got a chance, I looked up the number. Just so happened that the guy I walked in the security line right behind was Stephon Gilmore.
I have a question that might poke a hole in this theory here. Mm-hmm. You said looked up the number. You went down like you had a smartphone.
I did it when I got home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was concerned.
Yeah.
So
there was all.
Did he still have the long dreadlocks back then?
Oh yeah,
he was recognizable. And then, sure enough, a month later, he gets drafted by the Bills. I'm like, oh, that's the guy who was behind in the airport in Indianapolis. Also saw Drake Kirkpatrick from the Bengals, and who was the other guy? Janoris Jenkins, I want to say. I don't know. Anywho, I saw a bunch of guys there, but Stephon Gilmore was the one that I remember because he got drafted by the Bills.
Michael?
I have kind of a quick question. This is very off topic. You know how a lot of community centers and the communities have opened up their buildings for people without power to go and stay for the night? I saw online that our Hilton Community Center was only open till 8 p.m. last night. Why don't they take in...
There's a health department thing that has to do with it.
Is it because it's
I don't
like...
know. Maybe because they're not serving
asbestos?
They're not serving food. I don't know why. But
okay. I thought that was odd. And
there's a handful of them in the area.
Okay.
My
That's cool that Gates is 24-hour, though. That's awesome.
Yeah, my airtime this week is more like a shout-out. Shout-out to the Rochester Red Wings. The last week or two, they came out with some awesome promotions. I got one in front of me here. Every Thursday night is college night. You bring your college ID, which I still carry with me because of discounts.
It said it has to be valid.
I don't have an expiration date on mine.
I don't know if I do either.
I got a Grand Canyon.
This was actually in our rundown. At one point, was it? Took it out.
They sent you one?
Yeah, okay. No picture on it. But anywho, for $10, you get a $5 ticket and $5 Diamond Dollars, which is like their store credit. You can go. So $5 tickets, you get $5 back for food or beer.
That's awesome.
And
so you can get a dog.
Yeah, and then the other thing, I'm trying to pull it up here, a select number of games they're opening early for just like happy hour. Kind of like what the Amerks did a couple years ago. I think there was there's 5 or 6 days throughout the calendar that they're doing that. But I think that's going to be a
so we're going to some ball games.
Hit this year.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. It's obvious that the Red Wings are trying to get the younger millennial demographic to baseball games, and those are some cool initiatives. So
June 22, July 20, August 3, August 10.
Now, what counts as a valid college ID? Because I still have mine. Is it valid though?
Does
it have an expiration date? Or like what year?
I think ours are fine, man. There's like no expiration dates on them, so you can kind of just use it whenever.
Shave our beards and.
Men go to college, right? Men.
No, but I think we're going to have to revisit this topic and look at some of the top promotions as we get closer to the Red Wings season,
that's
which is about less than a month away.
They do a good job drawing a crowd. If the weather cooperates, they always have a nice
fun game to go to, and they got great food. So.
I think we need to revisit in a few weeks and look at the games that we want to go to.
And in the same breath, I heard the Rhino season started. Anybody familiar with that?
I think their actual season starts in early April. Like
they're probably playing preseason. They do everything like down south and out west.
So we, after airtime each week, we move on to what's on deck. This upcoming Wednesday, the 259 Extra will be the closest to the pin from the previous week that did not get posted due to me sleeping and the weather. So they'll get posted. Yeah, no, we're running out of time here, Mike. Mike, what's our power ranking going to be next week?
All right, I am going off the beaten path because this would normally be a food week. I'll save that for Tyler. I'm going with top 5 favorite TV show theme songs.
Yes!
Theme song.
I was just going to suggest it to you.
Top 5
That's
TV
a
show
great
theme
topic.
songs.
Yes!
Yeah. Michael!
I was going to pick that one next week if you didn't.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So if
I have a food one too if you want.
If you want to weigh in on next week's power rankings, tweet us, send us a message on Facebook at 259 Show.
Yeah.
It's been fun this week, guys. Doing this thing live. Do it live.
I don't mind doing it live, man. Now
Hopefully
that my Saturdays are free, we can do this.
Maybe,
I mean, actually,
not
I take
every
that
week,
back. I don't know how often I want to wake up at 8:30 on Saturday morning.
Yeah, and maybe we should do it a little later in the morning. More live listeners.
Well, hey, some of us had to get out to the St. Patrick's Day parade.
We plan on doing it Thursday. I had made plans.
No, we were originally going to do this
Wednesday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Thursday night, but you didn't have power.
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Jake, thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, didn't say much, but thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you Wednesday.